Hey guys, welcome back to Simply Scented Life. Rachel here today with a video taking a look at what I'm going to be burning or hoping to burn the week of Thanksgiving. Last month I did a video sharing the candles that I had hoped to burn for the week of Halloween, and a lot of you said you liked that. So I said, let's keep it going. Let's take a look at my burn rotation for Thanksgiving, and I have a small selection of candles here. I did pare it down a little bit. I had a few more added. I had a Homeworks in here. I had a Yankee. I had a Caramel Sundays, I believe. But I am going to be having to kind of split time over the next couple weeks to do some review burns for Kringle. So I decided to kind of pare some down, focus on the ones that I really wanted to get to the most. And so I've got 7 candles here today that we're going to be talking about, and we will just spend, a couple minutes or so on each one. Nothing crazy here. It'll all be time stamped in the description of this video, so feel free to jump around. But fall is my season, and I will admit we are starting to decorate for Christmas. You know what, here it's kind of a jumbling of the seasons here in my house because I'm a fall person. I usually tend to start burning fall candles in the middle of the summer. If you were here with me on my channel, you saw a lot of fall and Halloween reviews throughout the summer. That wasn't breaking my heart because I am not a huge summer scent person. So I have no problem rushing the fall season. But what happens is usually by the time I get to the end of October and we wrap up Halloween, I am ready to go with some holiday, different style fragrances and switch gears. So November 1st, I started my holiday transition here, and we've gotten some decorations up, not a ton. I'm feeling a little bit uninspired this year as far as decor goes, and just having ideas and just the motivation to drag everything out, but I'm doing the best I can. We did get the tree up this weekend, which was nice, but that said, with that, I do like to make a rule of it. So when we do hit the week of Thanksgiving, I try to kind of dial back the holiday a little bit, switch gears a little bit back towards fall, some pumpkins, some pies, and scents of that nature that are a little bit more fallish, and try to indulge in that and give Thanksgiving its moment, because it is sort of like the middle child of holidays. If every other holiday around it kind of gets all the glory, and then you have Thanksgiving in there, and usually Christmas is overshadowing it a little bit. So I do try to give it its moment in that week, but Friday we will be right back to all things Christmas here. So with that said, let's kind of get into this. I think we'll start with the Bath and Body Works candles first, and then we'll wrap it up with the handful of Kringles. So getting things started with the 4 Bath and Body Works I have, 2 of these here are kind of different versions of pumpkin and clove combinations, so I think we'll start with those 2. The first one of those is actually pumpkin clove, and a nice little wraparound label here. This candle I started burning, I want to say probably the end of September, early October, but I only burned it a couple times. You can see I have not gotten very far at all. And to be completely honest, I really don't remember what I was smelling when it was burning. These were brief burns, and not that it wasn't good, like it didn't leave an impression, but like I just don't remember. I burned so many different candles this fall, and I think that's always my problem, is that there's so many candles I want to burn, and there's just not enough hours in the day that I just don't get to everything I want. So this one, before I put it away for the season, I wanted to kind of give it a few more lights and see how it goes. The scent notes here are clove buds, ground cinnamon, a pinch of nutmeg, and fresh pumpkin. And I would say, like, again, because I can't remember how it smelled when it was burning, on cold here, it's like not quite full-blown gourmand pumpkin, but there is a slight sweetness to the pumpkin note. It is an orange pumpkin note, but it still feels fresh. It doesn't feel like a pie. And the spices here are very present. I definitely get that clove, definitely getting some cinnamon here, a little bit of nutmeg, but I say I'm getting more clove and cinnamon on cold here. So I really love this on cold, so I don't know why I didn't reach for it more, but whatever the case, I'm looking forward to burning this a little bit more before I stick it in the basement for the remainder. I don't know. Sometimes I will circle back to fall scents after the holidays wrap up and we're kind of like in the winter blues around here, sometimes I will circle back. So maybe this will be one of those if I really like it. But yeah, I put this in my rotation. Clove is just one of my favorite notes. It's a very cozy note to me. It's very comforting to me, and you can do it so many different ways. Like this is being a little bit sweeter, and then the next one I have here being a little bit different. This is Pumpkin Bonfire. This one here, again, another wraparound label. This one we have notes of white pumpkin, a bundle of cloves, and glowing embers. So this is clove going a little bit more cozy. And honestly, this is probably my favorite way to experience clove as a home fragrance note, with some sort of ember smokiness quality to it. This is like, I just love this one. I didn't reach for this at all in the fall like I thought I would. And part of it was because I actually feel like I will enjoy this more as it gets really cold. We are like in the last like 2 weeks just starting to get into some colder weather around here. We had a very sort of mild fall season where during the day it was pretty warm and the nights would get chilly but not quite frigid. So I had a hard time reaching for some of these more like cozy-ish fireside type of scents. Not that this is really fiery, but like there is that embers note in there. Just a hint of smokiness, but definitely not like a heavy choke you out sort of smoke. Very smooth and very cozy. And you get that little bit of creamy white pumpkin in here. But I didn't reach for this, and I definitely want to make sure I do before the season wraps up. I will probably be revisiting this one later on in the winter after the holidays for sure. I can see myself burning this like January. But I haven't decided yet, guys, if I'm going to do Bath and Body Works Candle Day or not this year. I'm leaning towards no, but like then the peer pressure and the power of suggestion and all that temptation starts creeping in, and I usually end up caving and doing at least a small order. So I don't know if I'm going to just do a small order online or if I'm going to go to my store. But if I do make it to the store, the one I usually go to usually has like a lot of like random fall leftover stuff that they have. And like I wanted to try this. I want to try the other one before that happens, just in case I end up going to Candle Day and stumble into some of these scents to see if I would want to get a backup or not if they're available. So that's part of the reason I put them in here now. But either way, I really love this one on cold. So I don't know. That's Pumpkin Bonfire. And let's see, what else do we have here? The next one I grabbed here, this is Vanilla Pumpkin Marshmallow. And this is one of those scents that it's almost like so well known, like what do you even need to say about it? The notes here are Tahitian vanilla, pumpkin spice, homemade marshmallow, and drizzled caramel. And ironically, I think the last time I burned this scent was actually on Thanksgiving years ago. It was like that. They had like a chalkboard design packaging scheme several years back. It was that one, and I loved it so much that when I picked it up this year on sale, now I have not burned this since then. I said, let me just hold on to this for Thanksgiving. And so that's what I did. I have not burned this at all. I'm hoping it goes okay. I'm figuring if I only do a few burns, it probably won't get into the danger zone. So at least this year while I'm burning it, I can enjoy it. And if it turns icky on me, I'll just throw it in my candle crock. But it's just such a good scent that it's like an old friend, you know. Cider Lane kind of had that same effect on me when I burned that again this year after taking a break for several years. It felt like, you know, kind of a big hug from an old friend. This is kind of the same effect. The spice here is very mellow. It's not even a heavily pumpkin fragrance to me. There is a little bit of pumpkin and spice in here, but marshmallow and that creaminess of that vanilla and that drizzle of the caramel. It's a very sweet, indulgent, rich, decadent scent. And I just love it. So looking forward to kind of familiarizing myself with this one again, see if it's as good as I remember. I do feel like my tastes have changed a little bit. Like it might be a little sweeter than I would like at this point in time, but it still smells really good to me. So that's Vanilla Pumpkin Marshmallow. And then I have one more here, and this one is brand new to me this year. This is Praline Delight. which I don't even think I've shared with you guys yet. It was like kind of a random add-in to a sale order. I think when they had the like 75% off Halloween clearance sale, this was one of the candles that was like really dirt cheap. And I wasn't going to get it because I usually have trouble with scents like these. The notes here are roasted pecans, brown sugar, and creamy caramel. But despite that, because it was so cheap and I had seen some good reviews, I decided for that price, let me just try it. And on cold, I'm glad I did. So we'll see how this goes. It's much more, it's much nicer than I was thinking it was going to be on cold here. Basically what I smell here in its essence is like a pecan pie filling when it's still warm. So no pie crust here. It's not like a full-blown pecan pie, but like that filling where you have the top of the pie that's sort of caramelized. The nuts are still warm. Maybe there's like a hint of, I'm not really getting like a spice per se, but like maybe just like a hint of a cinnamon, but just like that top of the warm pecan pie when you take it out, that sort of like warm, nutty, sweet, caramelized smell. That's what I'm getting here. We always have to have some sort of pecan pie at our Thanksgiving table. My husband really loves pecan pie, my father-in-law, my brother. So usually we get one version or another. Sometimes we've gotten, I think it's like with like a bourbon filling in there. Those are really nice. But yeah, pecan pies definitely remind me of the Thanksgiving holiday. So this felt like a very appropriate time to break this one out. But that begs the question, what is your favorite Thanksgiving pie? Definitely let me know in the comments. I'm really curious. As much as I do like pecan, it gets a little bit sweet for me. I'm more of a pumpkin pie girl. I will do like a nice slice of warm apple pie. But pumpkin, it's just like, it's so classic for Thanksgiving. I feel like you can't beat it. But I mean, Thanksgiving to me, we're all about the pie. That's like the highlight, is the pie at the end. The dinner is great. And I will say too, to that point, the turkey I could do without. I am here for the side dishes. So let me know, are you with me in that? Are you there for the side dishes? Because turkey I could take or leave. I will eat it, but I am all about the side dishes. So give me the side dishes and pie and I'm a happy girl. But yeah, I'm looking forward to trying this one. Hopefully it's not going to be too burnt or scorchy. That's like the one thing I'm worried about. But if it is, I'll just end up putting it under a lamp or in the crock, but we'll figure it out. But yeah, that's it for Bath & Body Works. And then I have 3 Kringles and then we'll wrap it up. All right, I figured while we're on the topic of pie, we're going to go to one of my favorites. I have been loving the heck out of this scent this year. This whole fall, I was kind of wrapped up in this one. This is Kringle, well, the country candle version of apple pumpkin pie. This was just added to the regular Kringle lineup, and I am so happy about that because I was really late to the party on this one. I bought this when it came out. I got the wax melts, and it was just so spicy and cold that I kind of dragged my feet in trying them because I wasn't loving it. But once I did, I was like, oh, this really warms up very nicely. It feels very baked and cozy. And when the country candles started kind of clearing out and went on sale, I picked this one up over the springtime and I saved it for the fall. And when I finally got to burning it, I was like, wow, I like this even more than the warmed wax melts. Like, as a candle, this is fantastic. And this is just such a great scent that I'm sad that I didn't try sooner because I would have had like a whole nother year or two with this one. But hey, thank God they put it in the Kringle line. I'm so excited about that. Originally, I was burning through this so fast, and then I was like, oh my gosh, I need to slow down because I don't know if this is going to be the last time I'm able to get my hands on this one. It had sold out. And so I said, let me stop it kind of halfway and I'll save it for next fall to finish up. But then once it came out in the Kringle line, I said, the heck with it. It's going in my Thanksgiving lineup and I will probably finish it this week because it's such a good pie scent. The scent notes here are red apple, anjou pear, mandarin, cinnamon bark, cinnamon bark, nutmeg, pumpkin puree, vanilla, baked pie crust, and allspice. I was doing some cleaning earlier and I feel like I've got like dust in my throat. So I apologize for that. But oh, man, like even on cold now, like I don't love it on cold, but when it is burning, what a transformation. This is like all the cozy Thanksgiving pie notes you could want. You've got the apple in there, but it's not like a heavy apple. It's kind of toned down a little bit by the addition of the pear. You've got some pumpkin in there as well. It's creamy, it's spicy, it's got that bakery element with the crust. It's not a heavily pronounced pie crust note, but there is a bakery element in there. And I just love it. Whenever I have this going, it feels like that warm pie baking in the oven sort of feeling. And I just can't get enough. The strength so far has been really good as well, which is another bonus. So yeah, I'm definitely going to be finishing this one up over the next week. This will probably be a combination of like just morning burns or just anytime I feel like I want to smell some pie. This one will be the one I grab. I think probably more so than the other, but yeah, I can't wait to finish this one. I've been so excited. It was so hard to stop burning it and say like slow down because you're going to burn through this super quick. But yeah, I love this one. Apple pumpkin pie in the Kringle line now. If you haven't tried it, definitely put it on your list of must tries because I don't know. It's so good. And I think this is why it drives me crazy sometimes that Kringle doesn't always just go for it with their gourmand bakery scents. Like you don't need to make them super fancy all the time and super conceptual. Sometimes you really just need to go for it with a good, straightforward, like true bakery note and no floral notes or anything funky in there. Just really go for it. And when they do and they nail it, they're amazing. So definitely one of my favorite bakery scents from Kringle. And then let's see, something a little bit different here. What's Thanksgiving without cranberry? Now, I actually am feeling a little light in the cranberry scents in my collection right now. So I grabbed one that I would really like to finish up this week. This is Cran-Apple Toddy, which is not a straight cranberry scent. I will say that. You definitely have some apple in here. And it's not really what I would consider a Thanksgiving cranberry per se, but it has enough of that here that because I'm kind of craving a little bit of cranberry and I don't really have much else to reach for right now, and you can see it's like almost gone. This is just one of those ones I really don't want to carry over much longer. The notes here, and I reviewed this on my channel. This is actually the very first candle that I reviewed here on my channel when I started this channel a little over a year ago. So I will link that review in the description. Please don't judge me too harshly. I was still really figuring things out back then. And sometimes when I watch my like first or earlier videos, I'm like cringing a little bit. But I did fully review this here on my channel. The notes here of apple, berry, currant, fruit, sweet, and amber. It's a nice scent. It definitely has like a drinkable quality about it. It's a fruity scent. I get the apple in here. The berry does lean cranberry-ish to my nose. It has that little bit of tartness that comes through with the currant. And the spices here aren't heavy. They're kind of mulling spices, very sort of mellowed, tempered down with the fruitiness. But I think this will be good for Thanksgiving just to get that little bit of a cranberry feel. I think my favorite cranberry scent, if you're curious, is probably Cran-Mary from Kringle. That is wonderful. I finished my last jar last winter, and I think maybe I have some wax melts here somewhere. I might have to dig them out. If I do, I'll throw them into this rotation. But Cran-Mary is probably my favorite cranberry scent. You know, kind of across the board. It's festive. There's a little bit more to it than just cranberry, but it's not perfumey. It's not overly sweet. It's just a very festive cranberry. There's a little bit of citrus in there. There's even a little bit of greenery in there, like a holiday feel. So that's like kind of my gold standard, but this one's okay. It's just not something I'm jumping up and down for, but this one also did make the cut to the Kringle line. So if you've never tried it before and you like, you don't want like something like straightforward, heavy berry, heavy cranberry, This with the apple in there is kind of nice. Performance has always been fairly decent. This started really strong, if I remember correctly, and kind of toned down a little bit. But the last time I burned it, and I did grab this a couple times in the fall, it was doing a little bit better. So strength-wise, I would say pretty adequate. Of course, I can't compare the Kringle version now, but a nice scent. And I think it will do the trick to give me my cranberry fix until I can get my hands on another jar of cranberry. The last one I have here, this is Pumpkin Buns from Kringle Candle. This is a reserve fragrance that came out in 2023. And I think my pour date here is 8/30/2023. So this is like the original one that I bought and reviewed back on Instagram years ago. This is currently sold out. It was around on the website for a while. It wasn't like one of those immediate sellout sort of candles. It was around for a while, so maybe some of you have this one, but I won't spend too much time talking about it now because it's not available right now, and I really don't know if it will be back again or not. But this fragrance here, this is before they put the scent notes on the bottom. I jotted them down. We have top notes of pumpkin, apple, peach, and clove, mid notes of cinnamon, ginger, mixed nuts, and nutmeg, and base notes of caramel, maple syrup, milk, and vanilla. This is a very autumnal, Thanksgiving appropriate fragrance in my opinion. The notes kind of seem a little abstract to me on paper, but what this sort of smells like to me in its essence is like a sweet bread. So like a sweet roll that's maybe made with some creamy pumpkin, some autumnal spices. There's the sweetness there, but then there's also a little bit of a savory that makes it feel more dinner roll versus dessert roll or desserty sort of scent. The bread note here is not really yeasty, but it does feel like a bread, and that's something I've seen others say as well. So I don't think that's my nose playing tricks on me. Like it does smell like a bread. It's just not like a yeasty bread. And the fruitiness here, the apple and the peach, and I wrote about this originally in my review a couple years ago, but it kind of adds up to me to smell somewhat like a persimmon, if you're familiar with what a persimmon smells like. And some of that could be the ginger coming into play here, but it almost smells like kind of not specifically apple, not specifically peach, but somewhere in that autumn fruit family. And I don't know, something about it smells like a persimmon to me. And definitely a little bit of an autumnal spice that's more subdued. It's kind of baked in. The nuts here giving it that savory lean because they feel like sort of dry roasted. They're not like a glazed nut or anything like that. But I mean, really neat sort of fragrance. It's very unique. I don't even think there's too many things that this could kind of compare to. The caramel here I get a little bit more so than the maple syrup, but yeah, a sweet, bready sort of fragrance that feels like autumn, feels like, you know, maybe that sort of kind of encompassing Thanksgiving feeling where you have all different scents going on in your kitchen, where you're getting a little bit of this, a little bit of that. I kind of get a little bit of this here, but mostly a sweet bread. So that is all I've got for today for what I'm going to be burning for the week of Thanksgiving. Before I wrap up here, I just want to say thank you guys so much for being a part of my little family here. I appreciate you all. And when I sit down here to come talk to you guys, it truly does feel like I'm coming to talk to friends. So thank you guys so much for that. I truly am thankful and grateful for each and every one of you who comes and joins me. You know, each time I have a video, some of you are commenting all the time, and it really means a lot to me. So thank you all. And I want to wish you all a very healthy, happy, safe Thanksgiving, whatever it is you're doing. If you're traveling, please be safe. If you're working in retail, good luck. And I am sorry. I've done it. It's not fun, but I wish you the best of luck, and hopefully you have some time to spend with your families, you know, be present in the moment, put down the phone, do something you enjoy. And if you're picking out your tree the day after Thanksgiving, I know a lot of you go to the tree farms and get your trees, you know, whatever it is, I hope it brings you joy. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And I wish you all a very, very happy Thanksgiving.